Nigerian government spent millions of naira trying to save the life of Abba Kyari, who died of coronavirus in Lagos. The private facility where he received care until his death also received special attention from the presidency, which ensured that all needed items for his recovery were in place. All this, according to the official, ran into millions of naira. Against the notion presented to the public that the now late chief of staff to President Muhammadu Buhari, Abba Kyari, deployed personal funds in seeking a viable treatment for his coronavirus infection, Sahara reporters can confirm that the presidency actually made huge sums of the public treasury available in trying to save his life. Kyari died on Friday, exactly 26 days after Sahara reporters first broke the news of him being severely ill and in fact suspected of contracting the deadly virus after trips to Germany and Egypt, where the pandemic had claimed hundreds of lives. Upon his return to Nigeria from those countries, it was reliably gathered that Kyari, who had a history of diabetes and was in his 70s until his death on Friday, refused to observe the mandatory 14-day self-isolation period, instead going about his normal activities and subjecting dozens of persons, including ministers, state governors, and also Villa staff to the risk of contracting the virus. Three of his staff were shortly afterwards confirmed to have contracted the virus, while some state governors who had contact with him were also infected. After being denied the usage of the Presidential Intensive Care Unit in Aso Villa, Abuja, which was kept for the use of President Buhari in case there was an emergency around him, and considering the Gwangwalada Specialist Hospital Isolation Unit too low for his standard and or liking, Lagos was considered the best place to him for the cure of Kyari. In the face of a global lockdown and with many countries with functional health systems closing their borders to international visitors, the Lagos Infectious Disease Center was one of the few places that could successfully deal with his case, especially after it treated an Italian man who first brought the virus into the country at the time with great success. But rather than check into the facility of the Lagos state government, Kyari violated the Quarantine Act to embark on a private treatment for his coronavirus infection against the directive and recommendation of senior government and Ministry of Health officials. According to a senior government official, his move to Lagos and choice of a private treatment facility cost the Nigerian government huge sums of public funds, especially in taking care of the upkeep and general welfare of the large number of security guards, medical staff, and other categories of caregivers that were always on the ground to ensure everything around him was fine. This was aside the amount spent on their accommodation and providing relevant safety items to ensure all persons looking after the late chief of staff to President Buhari were not infected with the virus. The private facility where he received care until his death also received special attention from the presidency, which ensured that all needed items for his recovery were in place. All this, according to the official, ran into several millions of naira, the exact amount which could not be confirmed at the time of this report. Forget what they are saying in top government cycles. The presidency actually spent big in trying to save Kyari's life. They spent some good millions of naira in attempting to save his life. He's one of the persons President Buhari trusts the most in this world, and he was willing to do anything to save Kyari's life. Throughout his stay in Lagos, the presidency ensured that he got all the support he needed to defeat the virus by ensuring that funds were made available to foot any type of cost around his treatment, and also ensure the safety and welfare of all those looking after him. As a prominent member of the cabal, there is no way the president or any of the circle was going to watch him spend personal funds to get a viable treatment for his situation. All needed support came from government, the official said. Until his death, Kyari was one of the most influential and powerful figures in President Buhari's government. Governors, ministers, and other important personalities all had to first win him over before gaining access to the president. There is nothing happening around President Buhari that he was not involved in. He was a pillar of support to Buhari in too many ways. Both of them had come a long way. His death is a huge personal loss to Buhari. He is going to feel his absence a lot, the official said. Sahara reporters also reliably gathered that the Nigerian government made attempts to fly the late Kyari to London, United Kingdom, for treatment, but had to shelve that idea, especially after coronavirus death rose astronomically in that space. The UK has 14,576 deaths from 108,692 confirmed cases of the virus at the moment. Kyari, like Buhari, had jetted out to the UK in the not too distant past to seek treatment for his health. The doctors in the UK understand his medical history and know how to handle his case, but the situation in Britain had prevented him from being flown there for attention. Buhari, on his part, has a yet to be disclosed medical ailment and in fact spent 5 months in London in 2017 for treatment. He has visited the UK several times more since than that period for treatment. Following Kyari'S death on Friday, officials of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control are now saddled with the responsibility of tracking down any persons who may have had contact with him. The agency earlier said that at least 6,000 Nigerians who had contact with persons already infected were on the loose and being tracked. I don't think the NCDC can trace everyone who shook hands with or met him at meetings and functions, and that is why we are asked everyone who were at those gatherings to self-isolate even if they don't display any symptoms at all, the official told Sahara reporters. On Friday night, the NCDC announced that the country now had 493 confirmed cases of coronavirus and 17 deaths. Already, experts have warned that there could be an explosion of these figures in the coming weeks, especially with many Nigerians deliberately flouting the stay-at-home order put in place to curb the spread of the virus in many parts of the country. However, following Kyari'S death and importance in the decision-making process of the President Buhari's administration, there are already concerns that governance may be gravely affected in the coming days and weeks at a time Nigeria desperately needs quality and responsive leadership. Of course, it is not longer a news, or it's no longer secret that the deed has been done. The Kyari has passed on. That is the new development now. Initially they were going back and forth. One thing is that you cannot trust these people. You cannot trust these people because a lot of people have been saying some things. They will say rumor and what have you. And I could remember they said, oh, he was going to be spending his money to treat himself and what have you. Of course, those are the lies they're going to be putting up to the people. One thing is that the reason why a lot of people are really complaining is that, those who are government officials, those who are leaders, they deserve better treatment. They deserve good treatment. It's not nobody's disputing that, but why is it that they cannot reciprocate that kind of treatment they give to themselves, to the citizens? That is where the problem lies. They don't care about anybody anymore. Spent millions of naira, if not because of the situation on ground, majority of them would have been flown out, leaving the rest Nigerians. Now individuals donated money. We know that they budget money for all the sectors in this country, but at the end of the day they will squander it and they will sweep everything under the carpet. We are going to be hearing billions, you are going to be hearing all manner of things, yet nobody will be charged, or nobody will face the law, because they are the ones that they manipulate everything. If not because that this kind of a thing happened, you wouldn't have seen them. Everybody deserved the good treatment. Nobody is saying, oh, they cannot be treated, okay, as a public figure and so on. But what about the people that are paying the taxes? The people who are paying the money, who are footing their bills? Because if it's not your personal money, it is the collective effort of all Nigerians, and it will not be spent on some few individuals. Everybody, if they treat themselves, if the position they occupy gives them that opportunity to be well taken care of, why is it that they cannot reciprocate that to the masses? That is where Nigerians are having problem. That is where people are having problem. And you see that, oh, the atmosphere, oh, some people, a lot of people, they are so happy. Not really because everybody knows that everybody's going to die one day. But when people have been marginalized, have been intimidated for a very long time, and those who are supposed to be saddled with the responsibility of taking care of the people, protecting them, they don't just care. And you expect them not to be happy? Of course, everybody knows, even so those who still try to be civil, to try to coordinate themselves, they just like, oh, at the end of the day, with all this, oh, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm that, and whatever, everything will just go down the drain. The problem is that they don't learn. They don't just learn. If you want good for yourself, reciprocate it to others. But that is the problem of the leadership in this country. One would have thought that the manner to which Buhari was sick and stayed in what is it called, London hospital, you would think that, oh, by the time he will come back, we just use the opportunity to say, let me be able to put things in place. Did you hear anything like that? Nothing. They didn't care. He does not care. What are we talking about? And you want to be happy about the happenings about those people? No. Naturally, the thing will just come like that. They don't care. Up till now, he never built hospital. And they will just be playing to the gallery. They'll be doing, I call them project. And the gullible ones will be clapping. Hey, this and that. They will not be branding themselves, priding themselves. Hey, oh, corruption is. They will be talking about. They have no moral justification to tell us that some people are corrupt or some party are corrupt. They will have no moral justification. That's what we're talking about. They will just be playing. All of them are the same. Whether you are PDP or APC, all of you are the same. All of you are the same because you have brought us to this level. All of them, some people are on the waiting list to enter the position too, so that they will start their own committing their own atrocities. It's unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. Of course, we know that they will always deceive themselves. Oh, that this and this and that. And someone says here that no amount of money can buy death when the time comes. This is a tragedy befalling this nation, but yet it's a warning to everyone. Death is inevitable and all must die. But whatever you got when you get the opportunity to do for anyone, please do it while you are still breathing. Rest in peace, Malam Abba Kyari. I hope they will learn. So guys, let us hear your opinion concerning the money spent on him. But it's not it's a big deal. Like I said, they deserve it. But when they are always coming out to tell us lies, and again maltreating the Nigerian people, what do you expect people to do to be clapping and be happy for them? No, that's not the issue. But why lying?